From out of the West comes Red Ryder, America's famous fighting cowboy.
Oh, that pony, Miss Beaver. They've held up the Millersville freight, and we've got to get on their trail.
You betcha, Red Ryder. Get along. Get him up, kid.
Get going, Thunder. Ride on, cowboy.
Now for a brief message. Lazy afternoon, and the range shimmers in the midsummer heat. Red Ryder had been leisurely cantering along with Jane Bruce, the school teacher at Painted Valley. And now their horses mount a rise the better to see the gorgeous landscape before them. Then, on the ribbon of highway far below, the road to the town of Devil's Hole, Red sharp eyes spy a strange drama. The freight wagon that runs regularly between Millersville and Devil's Hole has been approaching in a cloud of dust. It stops as another wagon meets it, and the driver begins swiftly moving goods from one wagon to another.
Red, do you think there's something wrong?
Jane, doesn't that first wagon belong to the Bruce Freighting Company of Millersville? The outfit your dad runs?
Well, there's such a cloud of dust down there. It's hard to tell for sure.
Jane, you go on back to Painted Valley Ranch. I'm seeing about this.
The dust is clearing. Yes, it is one of Dad's wagons. It's a holdup.
It's more than that. Maybe we've got the answer why your dad's been having so much trouble lately.
Look, now they've got a wagon empty. They're taking out the rifles. They're going to shoot the horses.
They're not shooting the horses. They're shooting holes in the wagon.
Red, what is this?
Uh-oh. Go back to the range.
Where are you going?
They're whipping up the horses, making them go alone toward Devil's Hole to make it look like a runaway. I'm stopping it. Come on, Thunder.
Red, I'm riding with you.
Take it, Thunder, old boy. Flatten out and get me alongside that runaway. Jane, stay back.
Red! You'll be killed!
All right, now, Thunder. Alongside that lead horse so I can jump to his back and pull him to a stop. All right, now. Easy now. All right. All right, come on, you horses. Ease it up. Ease it up. Oh, there.
Look out, Red! They're heading right at the main street of town.
Oh, there, boys. All right, ease it up. Easy now. Hold it there.
Look out, Red! He's under those horses. Get him out. Red Ryder.
Grab them lines. Bring the horses around. Unsnap them tugs from the double trees. Whoa there. Easy, boys. Hey, suffering cats. It's that Red Ryder from Painted Valley.
Thanks, friends, for getting me out from under there.
Why you ain't dead beyond me, Redhead.
Oh, Red.
Now, keep absolutely still about what we saw back there. Here comes Ace Hanlon.
Hey, what happened here? Somebody trying to wreck my store?
Runaway, Mr. Hanlon? Yeah, this Redhead sure saved things from being a lot worse.
Red Ryder, saving a runaway team. Well, Miss Jane Bruce. Yes, I might have known you'd be around to see it when Red makes a hero of himself.
Oh, you make me tired. If Red hadn't tried to stop them, this runaway team could have pulled your whole building down.
Yes? Well, who's going to pay for all this damage?
I reckon you are, Ace. Unless you want to sue these horses. They figured it out by themselves.
Very interesting. Isn't that a wagon belonging to the Bruce Freighting Company of Millersville?
I reckon it is, Hanlon.
Your dad's company, Miss Bruce.
Well, what if it is? If you could have seen what
Hold
we...
it, Jane.
Hey! Look at what's limping up the street. Why, it's Jeff
Go help him in, boys.
Red, what's happening around here? Well, that's the driver we saw take the goods out of Dad's wagon. Now he acts as if he's hurt.
The crowd's bringing him in. Now keep a straight face no matter what he says.
Come sit down over here, Jeff.
Yeah.
What happened?
Boys, let me tell you about it. It all started about 3 miles out of town.
Yes?
I was driving the freight wagon lickety-split to keep on time. When all of a sudden they started shooting at me from no place.
Oh.
6 of them, and they was all wearing masks.
Now, take it easy, Jeff. What happened next?
Well, sir, they forced me off in that wagon at a rifle point. Took the goods off and put them on another wagon. And whooped the horses into town and left me to walk in afoot.
Another holdup.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite an experience, Jeff.
Yeah.
Baxter, you see about those horses. Jeff, come on over to my $Silver Cafe. I reckon you'll need some doctoring.
Say, Ace sure is the right guy, ain't he?
Well, Ryder, the invite includes you. I guess reckon my store wasn't your fault after all.
Mighty big of you, Hanlon. You quieted that crowd pretty well.
All right. If you won't be friendly, have it your way.
Red, I can't stand this. We saw what that driver did. And now to hear him lie like
Just keep
that.
mum for a while longer, Jane.
Well, no wonder my father's having trouble making ends meet with these things happening to his freight company.
I've got a hunch that this is the smallest part of what's happening. Or going to happen to your dad's freight business, Jane. I think I'll mosey around Devil's Hole for a while and see what I can see. In the meantime, do this. You go on and see your dad at Millersville.
But we were supposed to be back at the ranch tonight.
Never mind that now. The Duchess won't mind. Ride to Millersville. Tell your dad what you saw, but ask him not to say anything for a while.
But, Red, what are you going to do?
Now, Jane, don't ask any questions. Because I'm not too sure of just what I'm looking for myself. Unless it's to pin something on Ace Hanlon. I'm willing to bet a plug dollar that there's some tie-up between him and that driver, Jeff. And if I find out what it is, some of your dad's troubles might disappear.
Will you be in Millersville later?
You'll see me when the time comes. Now, I think I'll start my looking around here by paying a visit to Ace Hanlon's cafe. After a while.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, Mr. Hanlon. You calling me?
Step into my private office. I want to talk to you.
Sure, Mr. Hanlon.
Now, waiter, just go on feeding the boys. They're always hungry.
Okay, boss.
All right, step in, Jeff. Sit down, Jeff. I want to compliment you on a good job.
Thanks, boss.
Your story was airtight. You sure made it look like a holdup. What about the other boys? They get away with the stuff out of that wagon?
Sure did. I did like you said. Threw it all over the cliff.
Mm-hmm. Well, then here's your pay. $100. And just keep on as before, driving freight for the Bruce Company. Later on, I might...
What's the trouble, boss? See something?
Thought I saw a shadow at the window.
Somebody getting IDs.
I don't know.
I didn't see no shadow at the window.
Yeah, I guess it was my imagination. Now, remember what I said. One peep about where you got that 100, and you'll find yourself at the wrong end of a 45.
Listen, when have I
I'm
ever...
telling you. We're monkeying with the U.S. mails when we stop those wagons, and I don't intend to have any talk.
Boss.
You're supposed to knock when you come in here, Curly.
Gosh, I almost forgot, boss. That greenhorn's in again. The one who's been bragging that he's just come out west with $3,000 to get into a business.
Good. Well, I'll be out to meet him. All right, Jeff, remember what I said. You get out the back way.
Sure thing, Mr. Hanlon, and thank you.
Open the door, Curly. Curly?
Yeah?
When did that Red Ryder come into my place?
I don't know. Must have come in when I was with you.
All right, never mind. Which is Bert Park?
That good-looking young guy with the white Stetson sitting, of course, at the fourth table.
Introduce me.
Sure thing. Hey, Charlie. Park. Bert Park. Somebody calling me? Yeah. Mr. Ace Hanlon wants you. Heard you'd come to these parts to set up in business, and he thought maybe he'd tell you what you want to know.
That's right kind of you, Mr. Hanlon.
Jake.
Glad to know you, son. Understand you want to go into some sort of business.
That's right, if I can find one. Got the capital for somebody, $3,000, right here in this here belt.
Well, now, that's the way I like to hear men talk. Frankly. Shows confidence.
That's what I figured. Talk frank and people will like you.
Well, I'll be glad to give you all the lowdown I can on the matchless business opportunities for forward-looking young men who wish to make Devil's Hole their future home, Mr. Parks.
Sure what I'd like to have, Mr. Hanlon.
I'll be with you in just a moment. Smokey, see that Mr. Parks has his eats on the house, and keep things moving.
Sure thing. I'll be waiting, Mr. Hanlon.
Well, if it's not Red Ryder in our midst.
Howdy, Hanlon.
Decided to get friendly after all and come have a gander at my establishment?
Oh, I was just curious, that's all.
Curious?
Yes. As to why a holdup out of town and some mighty valuable freight stolen calls for a celebration.
Just what do you want in here, Ryder?
Do I have to want anything? Go on, play with your marbles. I don't need any statistics on chances of opening a new business in Devil's Hole.
Now listen, Ryder.
Skip it. Don't let me spoil your fun.
As if you could ever spoil anything for me. Even a dinner. Well, what's the matter with everybody? Stir it up. Have a good time. Hey, Professor, get back to that piano with some lively music. Come on. Curly. Yeah, boss? Over here.
Yeah? What is it, boss?
I want you and Smokey to have a stud game ready for that Bert Park.
Well, that's what we figured.
Now, here's the angle. That Red Ryder is sure to edge up to the table and watch what we do. He's that nosy. Well, I'm sick and tired of having him always there staring at me when I got work to do. I want some trouble to develop. When we're working on that Bert Park, the minute it does, I want you to do something. I don't want you to miss. Get Red Ryder.
In just a moment, we return to the adventures of Red Ryder. Crowded with trouble for Red Ryder. First, he and Jane Bruce saw an act of robbery on Jane's father's wagon freight line. And now Red's in Ace Hanlon's $Silver Cafe, standing with a crowd about a gaming table, at which Ace himself and a couple of his better card sharps are about to take $3,000 from a young greenhorn who has just arrived in Devil's Hole and has talked too freely about his having $3,000 in cash. Red doesn't know it, but he is in extreme danger of his life.
6. Jack. 10. Queen. Queen high. Your bet, Mr. Parks.
In with the blue chip.
Stay.
All in, gentlemen. 9. 7. Jack. Well, Smokey, a king.
Bet 5 blue chips.
Just a minute there, Mr. Hanlon.
Yes, Mr. Parks.
You stay right where you are, hands and all. That king came out in your sleeve.
Do you know what you're saying, youngster?
Guess some guys ain't no better out west than they are back home. I saw that king come from your sleeve.
Why, you...
No, you don't.
Pretty obvious there, Ace. Never thought a man as smart as you'd ever pull a trick so raw. Now, what are you planning on, deliberately starting trouble? That job was meant for me, not Bert Parks. Now, Parks, take my advice and slip out of here.
Get him, boys.
I'll shoot the lights out and you skin for the front door.
Kerosene from the lamp.
Stick by me. My horse is tied up over there by that woodpile.
Hey, there's 2 horses.
Little beaver, how did you know where I'd be?
Me find them thunder. Stay 'em close. Know 'em you come.
Oh, what a lifesaver you are. Here, you get on Thunder with me. Bert, you take that pinto and let it go. Just follow that creek to some cottonwood 3 miles down, and I'll meet you there. All right. Easy, Thunder.
Why, Red Ryder, stop? Cottonwood's long way yet.
Got a bulge in my pants pocket where I put some money. Just wanted to transfer it to the inside of my shirt there where a certain party won't see it.
Ooh, lots of money.
That's right, little beaver. A roll of $3,000 of Bert Park's money. Ace Hanlon was going to relieve him of it, and I just managed to scoop it up before we said goodbye to his place.
Red Ryder keep him for a while?
Yes, for a while, but I'll give it back to him later. I'm afraid that Bert Parks is pretty easy pickings for these parts. By the way, I thought I'd left you at the ranch at Painted Valley this afternoon.
Little Beaver no want him stay.
I told you I'd be back before sundown.
Red Ryder go riding with James Bruce. Squad trouble. She look him you like him sick calf. Me no like him. Red Ryder always get him into trouble.
So you figured that whenever I go riding with a girl, I get into trouble. Well, you may be right. Well, let's go on and find Bert. Get going, Thunder. Yes, that was a narrow squeak if I ever saw one.
Man, how you ever got us out of there is more than I can figure out. Never knew there could be so much trouble in one place.
Well, it's all over now and nobody's hurt.
Except me. Guess I'll never see the $3,000 left on that gambling table again.
I don't want to preach any, Bert, but next time you ought to think twice before talking free as you did around those boys in Devil's Hole.
Yeah. Guess I'm new to this country. Well, there goes my chances of ever investing in a business like I hoped.
Say, tell me about yourself. Where you from and what kind of business did you hope for?
You'll think me pretty green if I tell you the truth. Come from Missouri. When an uncle left me that $3,000, I figured on the West being a good place to find excitement. Guess it's about right.
Want a job?
You know where I can find one?
Well, I was kind of figuring on riding down to Millersville, 40 miles south. Think I know where there is one.
Yeah, but my money, I got to go back and get it.
Don't you go near that bunch again. Your money isn't there now anyway. And you shouldn't have been gambling in the first place. Say, think you could drive a freight wagon?
Could I? Drove a stage once all summer.
Well, there's a freighting outfit in Millersville I know of that needs an honest driver. And about all that's wrong with you, as I can see it, is that maybe you're a little too honest.
Oh, gee, Red, if you could get me a job, oh, man, would I be grateful.
Well, then let's make a camp here tonight and start for Millersville at daybreak. That meet with your approval, little beaver?
If Red Ryder no get him in squad trouble, you betcha.
Partridge you shot sure smells like a tantalizing breakfast when you cook it that way.
It's a special way of cooking I more or less invented when we haven't any utensils.
Yeah.
No sign of Little Beaver yet?
Can't figure it out. He was gone with a pinto horse when we woke up.
He must have heard something to go off like that.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Hear something?
Yes, it's Pinto.
Riding in fast, too.
Something's wrong, Bert.
Red Ryder, me hear him shooting before sunup. Go see. Freight wagon. Driver dead.
Freight wagon driver shot? Where?
Over on road. 2 miles.
Come on, Bert.
Yeah, but the partridge breakfast.
Skip the breakfast. Now take us to where that driver was shot, Little Beaver.
Dead?
Yes. A rifle bullet. Never knew what hit him. Did you see it happen, Little Beaver?
No. Me only hear him. Come quick. See him only wagon.
Hey, this wagon says on the side, Bruce Freighting Company, Millersville. That the outfit you mentioned?
It is. And the wagon's empty of freight, too. Now, Bert, you said you could drive one of these wagons. You take it in on to Millersville. And Little Beaver, you ride with him. I'll go on ahead on horseback and talk to the Bruces.
And drive with this here body right in the wagon?
Yes, I know that driver. He's Dave Small. Above all, bring him in. do mean it, Jane.
You see, Father? Now you'll know I wasn't dreaming about the story I told you.
Oh, this is terrible.
Terrible. Wait, Mr. Bruce. Don't go to pieces. There's a thing or two I want to know first.
Oh, yes, Ryder. Anything I can tell you. Poor Dave, dead. My best driver. I can't believe it. What's happening to us?
Now, suppose you start telling me what the situation is right now with your freight company.
Yes. Well, for years I've kept the Bruce freight lines running between here and Devil's Hole and other towns, hoping for a day when the territory would really open up and it would pay off. But now, well, it looks as if somebody's after me.
You think that, too?
What other explanation is there? I start having business, hauling freight to Devil's Hole 4 times a week and to other towns 2 and 3 times. Then these robberies start up, and now my driver's been shot.
Oh, it's just awful for Dad, Red. He's personally responsible for the safety of the goods he ships. Well, this can put him out of business if it goes on.
But is some other firm competing with you? Who do you suspect?
That's what I can't understand. As far as I know, nobody wants my business. As far as my drivers are concerned, I can't believe they'd join in any robberies. I still can't believe Jeff Pearsall did what you say you saw.
Well, he did, Dad.
Jane's more right than she thinks, Mr. Bruce. I saw Jeff Pearsall accept money from Ace Hanlon in Hanlon's own office.
What?
Which makes it certain.
You did? Why, the dirty double-crossing rat. Wait till I get my whip and meet that lying whelp.
Now, hold it. What good will beating up Jeff Pearsall do? Now, somebody's at the bottom of this, and for some reason of his own is trying to put you out of business. Now, let's wait for him.
Red's right, Father.
But who's behind it all? Is it Ace Hanlon?
If it is, we'll find out.
Oh, look. Look, there comes the wagon. With little Beaver on horseback alongside.
Uh-oh. The crowd's found out already. They're pouring out of the saloons and stores. Now, you stay here, Jane. What's in that wagon isn't a very pretty sight.
Look, Red, way up the street, near the bank.
Uh-oh. Wonder when he got into Millersville.
Why, it's Ace Hanlon.
Yes. No doubt they had the Devil's Hole delegation a mourning for Dave Small, the dead driver. Mr. Bruce, I'll look after Small. You go fetch the sheriff and have him here.
The sheriff? Well, what can old Jim Primdale do?
Never mind what the sheriff's like. Just fetch him.
Quiet. Take it easy, will you? I'm the sheriff here, and I'll ask the questions. Now, you say that this Red Ryder here then told you to drive the wagon on into Millersville.
That's right. We found the body and
What part does Indian Kid got in all of this?
Me get him help for Red Ryder. Me protect.
Quiet, will you? All right, Bruce. What time did you send this freight wagon out yesterday with this Dave Small riding horses?
Why, it was about 1 o'clock, Sheriff Primdale.
1 o'clock, eh?
Yeah.
And you, cowboy, you say you didn't find the wagon and the driver till sun up this morning.
That's right.
Hey, you folks, you gotta keep still. We can't hear ourselves think. Clear out of here, all of you. I'm busy with these folks here. Yes, sir, we've had enough of you fussing around getting no place with all the lawlessness and the shooting of the driver, Dave Small. Hey, can you do a better job? I sure can, with some help. And here's the help.
Here we are.
We know who shot Dave Small because he was seen. Then bring the witness in here and let him testify. It's one man with 2 friends, and there he stands right there. Red Ryder.
Red?
Just who are you and where are you from?
Never mind who I am. I can be a witness, can't I?
Yeah.
Red Ryder was the one that bushwhacked Dave Small in the head with a rifle and took the stuff out of the Bruce Freight and Company wagon. And we aim to see that justice is done.
You're crazy.
Yeah?
Yes.
Crazy, am I? I suppose he fooled you, too.
Cut all that talk. Just stand back. Stand back. Red Ryder's my friend. You pulled me out of a bad hole once already. By jings, I'll pull him out in return if it means to die myself.
Oh, Greenhorn looking for trouble, huh? Look at them guns that's trembling in his hands.
Think I wouldn't shoot and shoot to kill, do you? Didn't stand back to you because...
Hold it, Bert.
Huh?
I said hold it. Well, hombre, I'll give a guess and say you've got a reception committee outside, all from Devil's Hole. Have you?
We sure have, and if you'll come peaceful, you'll have a fair trial.
I'm sheriff of this here county, and I ain't...
Hold it, Sheriff. All right, hombre. I'll come. Just open that door.
Well, I can't think of anything that would suit me better.
What a reception committee.
Red. Oh, Red, they'll kill you. You'll never get out. Don't walk out there.
I've only got one thing to say, Jane. You and your father and everybody else in this room better duck in just about 30 seconds, because it won't be peaceable. I'm going out there, and I'm going out fighting.
Remember to tune in this station Thursday night at 7:30, and every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for the thrilling adventures of Red Ryder, the West's foremost fighting man. Hear Red, Little Beaver, the Duchess, and other famous characters in an exciting story of the West 3 times weekly. There's never a dull moment when Red Ryder is riding the range, so join him again at this same time Thursday night. And here's a tip. Most of your friends like exciting entertainment, too. So tell them about these new Red Ryder radio programs. Tell them to tune in the Blue Network station every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at 7:30 for the adventures of Red Ryder, America's favorite cowboy hero. From out of the West comes Red Ryder, America's famous fighting cowboy.
On that pony, Little Beaver. They've held up the Millersville freight, and we've got to get on their trail.
You betcha, Red Ryder. Get along. Get him up. Get.
Get going, Thunder. Ride on, cowboy.
The Adventures of Red Ryder. Lazy canter over the mesas with Jane Bruce has grown for Red Ryder into a strange problem. Who's trying by robbery and murder to put the Bruce Freighting Company of Millersville out of business? Involved are Jane and her father, John Bruce, Ace Hanlon, and Bert Parks, a young man fresh from the East whom Red extricated from Hanlon's card sharps just as they were about to take his money. Now, in Millersville, just as the sheriff inquired into the latest killing of a Bruce Company driver, Red finds himself accused of that very murder. A mob has appeared to get him outside the Bruce Freighting office.
There's that redhead. You coming peaceable, redhead? We'll give you a fair trial.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Red, don't walk out there. Don't, please. They'll kill you.
I'll go out with you, Red. They won't hurt you.
Thanks, Bert and Jane. But you all better stay in this room and duck in just about 30 seconds, because I'm going to try to talk my way out of this, and if it doesn't work, things won't be peaceable.
Red?
Where's Little Beaver?
Well, I don't know. He was here a minute ago.
All right, never mind. All right, hombre. You're stepping out on that porch with me.
Just don't reach for your guns, because it won't be healthy. Come on, down them steps.
Hasn't a man anything to say in his own defense? Then you'll listen anyway.
I'm going to have my say, and then you can get me.
if I don't get you first. You say that I killed Dave Small. If any of you had an ounce of sense, you'd see that you've been egged on by somebody to turn attention from himself. A rifle bullet killed Dave Small as he drove the Bruce freighting wagon from here to Devil's Hole. And I haven't carried a rifle for weeks.
Oh, why you let him argue first?
I'm not arguing. I'm telling you something to your faces. You're a pack of fools. I've seen mobs before, and so have you. They don't just grow. They're started. Can anybody out there tell me who put the idea into your heads that I killed Dave Small? Nobody, huh? Well, I'll tell you. He's across the street leaning against that hitching rail.
Ace Hanlon.
Ace Hanlon, proprietor of the Silver Dollar Cafe and the store and everything else at Devil's Hole. Ace Hanlon. Somebody ask him what he's doing in Millersville. Somebody ask him who paid Jeff Pearsall to pretend like there was a holdup of a Bruce wagon outside of Devil's Hole day before yesterday. Ask him why he's so worried about me being mixed up in this. Then ask him what he's got against the Bruce Freighting Company, founded and kept going for years by John Bruce when it didn't pay a dime, and hopes that someday it would amount to something.
Here's Hanlon now.
I'll answer those questions, people of Millersville, and gladly. I'm here because I'm a businessman, because the only way I could get freight and mail to Devil's Hole is through the Bruce Company. And I'm sick of having shipments delayed and my stuff stolen. I never paid a man to fake a hold-up in my life. That's a lie he can't prove. Well, I haven't anything against Bruce. But I say that if he can't protect his shipments, he hasn't any right to be in business. Yeah, that's right. As for this Red Ryder, it's about time folks around here realize that for the past year, there hasn't been one bit of trouble around here he wasn't mixed up in. And I say that where there's smoke, there's a fire.
Red, get out of here.
Furthermore, I'm here
I'll cover your retreat. I told you to get back there with Jane and her father. I won't do it. That coward sheriff disappeared out the back window. Ain't nobody but you got nerve in this country?
I can prove it. Absolutely.
What's that? Now, what's Little Beaver up to?
Hey, that Indian kid pal of yours going crazy, Redhead? Here he comes with your horse and his pony, galloping to beat the cards toward us down the street.
Little Beaver, don't come near here. Look at the crowd, all tangled up in the mud. Did you see that, Bert? For Pete's sake, Little Beaver tied a rope between the two horses, trailed it on the ground, and tipped the whole bunch. Oh, mother, this is rich. Here he comes back. Little Beaver, that's enough.
Crowd pull him up in mud. Me bring him good help this time.
Oh, you sure did, Little Beaver. You brought good help this time. Now cut that rope out from the crowd before somebody really gets hurt. You, Bert, keep him covered. I will. All right, now just calm down. Get up out of that mud and reach for the sky.
You'll pay for this someday, Red Ryder.
I'll be glad to pay. It's been worth it. Just reach for the sky. Standing. There, that's better. I've got a hunch your feelings about me have kind of cooled down. So I reckon you can all go. Even you, Hanlon. And I'd suggest a shower bath in your case. All right, come on, Bert. Little Beaver. Back into the office. By jings, I wish one of them had started something.
They feel him cooler now. No danger.
That's right. There'll be no trouble now.
Red! Oh, I can't believe you're walking in here alive.
Not only alive, but kicking. Thanks to Little Beaver.
Me knock a Ace Hanlon in mud. You betcha.
Little Beaver, you sure did.
Red, I think my hair turned 2 shades grayer than it is, seeing you out there standing off that mob and hearing that dirty lying skunk of an Ace Hanlon saying what he did. Jane can tell you I had my rifle up, ready to start shooting if that mob so much as moved toward you.
And you'd have gotten into the same kind of trouble if you had.
Well.
Now listen, everybody. It's plain as daylight that Ace Hanlon's at the bottom of this.
Well, sure he is. But can we prove it?
That's the question.
Oh, we know what Ace has tried to do, don't we? We know
But
that
all that's not proof, daughter. Red's right.
For one thing, where's his motive? You're sure you can't think of any reason why he'd want you out of business, Mr. Bruce?
And he shouldn't want to crowd me to the wall for the money in freighting, but so far there ain't been hardly any.
I wonder what it could be.
Yeah, it beats me. Oh, by the way, Ryder, what about that job you talked about?
That's right. I almost forgot. I met Bert here under rather peculiar circumstances in Devil's Hole. Now, he needs a job.
I'll tell you the circumstances. I had $3,000, and he saved my life before I lost it. The money, too.
He says he's driven a stage. Want a trustworthy man?
Do I? You're hired, son.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Bruce.
I don't know as I'll be able to pay as regular as I'd like, but I'll sure try.
Count me in, Mr. Bruce.
Oh, Mr. Parks. You can't know what that means to us.
Gee, can't everybody just call me Bert, sort of? You don't have to be so polite.
Well, Bert, my boy, someday I'll make this up to you. Just when, I don't know, but I will.
When'd you like me to start, Mr. Bruce?
Well, Bert, I've got a wagon scheduled to go for Templeville tomorrow morning at daybreak. You want to try taking that wagon in? A couple of stacks of mail and some merchandise for the general store?
I'd sure like to try.
Well, then you're hired, son.
Gee, thanks. And thanks to you, too, Red, for putting in a good word.
Well, now we got everything fixed. Guess Little Beef and I'd better mosey on back to Painted Valley Ranch.
Oh, Red. So soon?
Reckon the Duchess will be needing me about tomorrow, Jane.
Gee, why do you have to go, Red?
Well, Red, I thought...
Yes, Jane? What did you think?
Well, all these strange things happening to us, I thought you were interested in solving them.
Sorry, Jane. I'll try to be back in Millersville maybe about the middle of next week.
Oh, Red.
Oh, now, Janie, maybe Red's got business elsewhere. He can't be expected to solve all our problems for us.
So long, Bert. Glad to have met you.
Red, thanks for all you've done for me. And thanks for...
Where are we going now, Red Ryder?
Well, we're camping here for the night.
Up here on Mountain Cove.
We're up here on the cold mountain because down below us is the highway leading to Templeville.
Me catch him. You watch him. Bert Parks driving team.
You got the idea. You follow what might happen to Bert when he starts out driving that wagon bright and early tomorrow morning.
Now maybe Red Ryder find him out what matter.
Maybe. So let's get what sleep we can. We'll be cold and hungry enough before dawn.
It's about time you came in and reported to me.
Now listen, Mr. Hanlon, you see...
Find one you ought to throw away money on. Sit down. Don't talk too loud. This hotel's walls wasn't built to deaden sound.
Gosh, Mr. Hanlon, we had that redhead when that Injun kid come along with them 2 horses and that rope, and then he was...
and there we all were in the mud like pigs. Now listen, I don't intend to have this matter drag out to the point where my part in it comes out, understand? I've just heard that Bert Parks is going to work for the Bruces and is taking the Templeville wagon tomorrow morning, leaving at 4 a.m. That's bad. It means another driver we're not sure of.
Well, could we get the way he's sleeping and,
And have the whole business really rouse the country? No thanks. This has got to be method number 3. And I don't want it to fail.
Oh, I tell you that this time...
Never mind the promises. Do it.
Yes, Mr. Hanlon.
Wagon come now. I'm up road. See him?
It's about time. This air up here's making me starve.
And look 'em.
Uh-oh.
2 men with rifles. They wait.
Stay right here.
But they hold him up. You no stop him?
If only I could be sure he wouldn't be killed.
Come on, Red Ryder. Save him.
I told you to stay here. Now, this time I want to see what they do with that stuff they steal.
Now they step him out. Say hands up.
Bert, don't be foolish and start shooting. Oh, good. He put his hands up.
Now they bring him another wagon.
It's the same thing they've always done. They'll take that stuff out of the Bruce wagon and put it into theirs. Get your horse. We've got to be ready to follow them. Now that's funny.
Red, we crazy.
If you see the same thing I see, we're not crazy.
We follow men who steal them from Bruce wagon. We see them now what they do.
I thought that by following them, I'd be led to where they hide the stuff that they steal from the Bruce freighting wagon, or the man who receives it. But I never expected this. It's throw the stuff away and into the river. I haven't cleared up a bit of this mystery, Little Beaver. In fact, I've made it worse.
We return to the adventures of Red Ryder in just a moment. Went to work as a driver for the Bruce Freighting Company, and Red Ryder thought that he would follow the men he and Little Beaver saw hold Bert up and force his load, and so solve the mystery of what has been happening, as well as Ace Hanlon's part in a series of recent attempts to put the Bruce Company out of business. Instead, the mystery deepened. The hold-up men took the stolen goods and dumped them into a nearby river. Back in Millersville, Bert Parks now stands in the Bruce offices waving his arms.
There I was, driving the wagon pretty as you please on the road to Templeville when, I guess it was about 5:30, it happened. Made a grab for my gun, but what was the use? They had me. Took everything.
Oh, Bert.
Lucky you weren't killed like poor Dave Small, son. Lucky you weren't killed.
Lucky who wasn't killed?
Red.
You were right, Jane. I should be looking into this. I wasn't needed at Painted Valley after all. Do you need another man, Mr. Bruce?
Another man? Oh, that's right. Kind of you, Red. What's the use? They're licking me. I can't stand this.
Red, just this morning, Bert was held up.
I heard about it, Jane. It's all over town. But I've got an idea. A guard. Bert, you drive. I'll guard. We might get a shipment through that way.
By jings, there's an idea.
No, boys. I don't see much use in staying in business the way things are. Even if you and Bert do work for me, what can I pay you with? I'm almost broke. This morning's work just means another shipment I've got to make good.
Listen. Now, don't ask any questions, any of you. Here's what I want you to do. Dispatch a wagon at the regular time tomorrow morning to Devil's Hole. Advertise it. Let everybody know about it. But don't ship anything valuable on that trip. I just want 2 or 3 packing cases that will look regular, but which will be filled with rocks.
Rocks?
Yes, just plain, ordinary rocks. Do it now and don't ask any questions.
Have you gone crazy, Red?
For Pete's sake, Red.
Now, wait. I've watched Red a long time at Painted Valley. He's got an idea. I know it. Do what he tells you.
But, gosh...
All right, Red. I have a hunch you're up to something.
Thanks, everybody. All right, Bert. You'll drive and I'll convoy.
You're the doctor, Red. I'll drive and you convoy.
Oh, and just one more thing. When we're set to start tomorrow morning, Mr. Bruce, give us orders in a loud voice, just as if we were green hands and needed advice.
Got the horses all set, Shorty?
All set. The team's ready.
Well, goodbye, Jane.
Goodbye. Isn't Little Beaver going?
Oh, he'll be along in a minute. Here he comes now.
Yippee! Me going too with wagon. Bring him bow and arrow. Help him guard wagon. What's the matter? Need him guard.
That's right, son. We need all the guards we can get to help Red, even those with bows and arrows. Well, boys, remember I told you about that road ahead. The only trouble you might have is the narrow stretch down the face of Breakneck Canyon. It's well named. Been raining through there lately, and the soil's kind of wet.
I know the stretch. We'll watch it.
We'll be careful.
Well, luck be with you, boys. So long.
So long.
So long. Come on, team. Get going. Get going. sure look good on Thunder.
Getting tired pounding a wagon seat?
I wouldn't mind taking a spell around. This wagon seat's riding mighty rough. Where's little Beaver?
He's been circling the mesa up above to see what he can find.
And he acts like he's seen something. Here he comes.
Just keep on going.
Oh, Red Ryder, you come see him.
You spotted something?
2 men, guns,
What kind of guns?
rifles. They get him off horse. Wait him high up in mesas.
Stay here a minute. Take it, Thunder.
Come on, Thunder. Go it, boy. Bert, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, just keep on rolling as if you hadn't heard anything. Little Beaver reports men on foot up on the mesa up above.
What'll I do?
Now,
Down this side of Breakneck Canyon?
Now, don't arouse suspicion. Keep going. If you hear shots, though, stop dead. We'll go up above and reconnoiter.
When do we come to Breakneck Canyon?
Oh, about a half mile ahead. It's steep but safe. Just keep your brake shoes tight on the way down.
All right. Come on, you hay bunny. Get going.
Come on, Thunder. Back to Little Beaver.
Crazy shorty not tell me till an hour ago that Red Ryder went with the wagon, too. Yeah, but I got it fixed. It'll happen in Breakneck Canyon.
You know what it means if there's a slip-up.
Oh, I know. But there's too many men getting in on this. Say, when's that shipment you expect coming in, Ace? This can't go on much longer.
Just hold your horses. It ought to be in tomorrow. And after that, we'll both be on Easy Street.
Did you hide the horses in those bushes?
You betcha.
All right. Now, where's that cliff you said we could look down from?
There. Take 'em easy.
Uh-oh. We're right on the edge.
See 'em. They're man with gun down below.
How do you know he's not a hunter?
Hunt? This country? What'd he kill him here? Coyotes?
All right. So he's up to no good, and he isn't a hunter. But you said there were 2 men up here. Where's the other?
No see 'em. Lost.
Well, there comes Bert and the team down the road. They look like toys way down there.
Start going down Breakneck Canyon.
There's the other man.
Now what'd he do?
He just seemed to spring out of the ground. And both of them are watching Bert drive down into the canyon. I'm looking into this.
Me come too.
No, you stay behind. Watch the horses.
Me no want 'em stay.
Now do it, Little Beaver. We can't take any chances with those horses if we need them. I'm sliding down this cliff and talking to that man.
All right. Me do 'em.
That's better. All right, here goes.
Stay where you are, Redhead.
Seems to me I've heard your voice somewhere before, mister.
I ain't interested in voices. Hey, Jack! Redhead walked into the trap. Get in the works.
Listen, if you two are hunters, there's something mighty peculiar.
Well, I ain't interested in conversation. Just stay right there. What hit me?
That's all I need to get this chance. Come on down, Little Beaver. Good shot with that arrow. You take his gun.
Got him gun.
Thanks. You were right to keep watching. Now do the same. Keep out of sight. I'm going to see what that other man's up to.
What's that?
Blasting powder.
Look 'em. Smoke.
Coming up from Breakneck Canyon. Come on.
Me come.
Slide and fast. The loose rock. Can you stop?
Me stop 'em. Pour 'em pants.
Never mind that now. Down the canyon.
No use. Look 'em.
Little Beaver.
Road blow 'em right off.
That's what they're doing, the skunks. Planting a charge of powder to go off when the wagon passed. Oh, you fool, Red Ryder, you fool. Little Beaver, get down there and try to find Bert. I'm going back after that other man.
Me go.
If I can get back up this slide of loose rocks. Uh-oh.
No place for Little Beaver.
No place for either of us. Where's he shooting from?
Up in bushes.
Ouch. Hot lead in the face. Let yourself slide.
Me slide.
Don't let it get out of control.
Maybe it can no stop.
Try to stop it. Try it, or it'll take you down into the canyon. Now be careful. Little Beaver, grab that bush.
They go fast. Red Ryder, where are you?
Right here, little Beaver.
Red Ryder, what's the matter?
I don't know. Broken leg, feels like.
Well, how come slide too fast?
Help me. Help me get some of that loose rock off my legs. Hurry now.
Work come fast.
No. Wait a minute. Never mind that. At least I'm alive and we know it. Go see what's happened to Bert. Confound it. Why did this have to happen now? Those men will get away.
No good here.
Now do as I tell you. Go see about Bert.
No, me stay. They killed Red Ryder here.
Now do what I tell you. Confound it, you're always getting me into trouble when you don't do as I say. Do it. Look after Bert.
No, get him out. Little Beaver will work. Get Red Ryder out. Red Ryder. What matter? Face white. You faint. No faint him now. Please. Hurt bad. Red Ryder. They shoot him at me too. Little Beaver, go get help fast.
Going to happen to Red Ryder now? Well, you can count on one thing. It will be exciting and entertaining. So be sure to tune in again Saturday night at 7:30. And don't forget, tell your friends that they can hear the thrilling adventures of Red Ryder 3 times weekly on their Blue Network station. Make a date right now to listen in every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at this same time for a half hour of spine-tingling action with Red Ryder, America's favorite cowboy hero. Lies in store for Red Ryder and the others. Listen to the next thrilling half hour with Red Ryder, America's famous fighting cowboy, on this station next Saturday night at 7:30. From out of the West comes Red Ryder, America's famous fighting cowboy.
held up the Millersville freight, and we've got to get on their trail.
You betcha, Red Ryder. Get along. Get him up.
Come on, Thunder. Right up, cowboy.
The Adventures of Red Ryder. In just a moment, we'll join Red Ryder. But first, I should like to remind you that the bread on your table has a lot to do with making any meal more enjoyable. That's why so many wise mothers serve delicious, fresh and tasty Langendorf bread with every meal. To help supply extra energy, delicious Langendorf bread is made with dextrose, finest quick energy food known. Serve fresh and tasty Langendorf bread at every meal. Has found that the problem of why someone is trying to put the Bruce Freighting Company out of business is a deep mystery. Its drivers are sometimes murdered, its cargoes stolen, then thrown away for no apparent reason. With a newcomer to the country named Bert Parks, Red and Little Beaver this morning undertook to convoy a wagon load of dummy freight from Millersville to Devil's Hole, following a hunch of Red's. And now, in the Bruce Company offices at Millersville, Jane Bruce and her father anxiously await news.
But, Dad, there's no use pacing the floor like this.
No use pacing the floor. Janie, I tell you, if this terrible business goes on much longer, I can't stick it. Making those robberies good has cost me everything. My drivers have quit. I haven't the money to start up again, even if somebody tells me what this is all about.
1 o'clock. Red and Bert must have gotten to Devil's Hole with the wagon by now. They didn't have trouble.
Then why can't Red say what he's up to? Asking for 2 crates filled with plain rocks as freight. Insisting we let everybody know a shipment was going out.
Dad, I've told you 1,000 times. Red never talks till he's ready.
No, I suppose it... Jane, look. Out the window.
What's the matter?
Something's coming up the street. Look how the people are pouring out of the stores.
Dad, it's Bert. What? Coming in alone on a horse.
Yes, he seems to be hurt. Oh. Badly, too. Come on. All right. Stand back there. Stand back there.
Bert, what happened?
Miss Jane, quick as you can. There are 2 messages on paper inside my shirt. Send them by telegraph. Don't say a word about it to anybody.
What happened?
Do as I say. I'll tell you the rest later.
Got it. I'll go get the doctor. Let me out, please.
Quiet, everybody. Quiet. All right, Bert, tell us what happened.
Well, I was driving the wagon toward Devil's Hole and nearing that stretch of road down the face of Breakneck Canyon, and Red Ryder was cantering alongside when that Indian boy pal of Red's came to say he'd seen a couple of men with rifles on the mesa above.
Yeah?
Well, Red went to look, and I kept on down Breakneck Canyon when it happened.
What happened?
A charge of dynamite went off, I guess. What? Blew me and the wagon clean off that road and killed the horses.
Dynamite? But Red and Little Beaver, where are they?
They're dead.
Dead?
I guess they got them both with their rifles.
No.
I found them falling down a landslide, and from the sound of the shooting, they must have been drilled clean full of holes. I crawled out of the canyon, I don't know how, and I found them. That's the story.
Why, hello, Miss Jane. Don't see you come into this telegraph office much anymore.
Tom, do something for me and keep mighty still after you've done it.
Why, sure, Miss Jane. You look mighty flustered, though.
Don't ask questions, please. Here, send these 2 telegrams.
Yeah, well, I guess there ain't nobody else in town to send them but me. Let me see. Say, Ace Hanlon's right here in Millersville.
Yes, I know. Send it. It says, if you've still got the shipments, send them now. Don't sign my name to it. And the others to the U.S. Marshal at Union City.
Hey, let me see. Let me get my specs here. Come right away with deputies.
Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, do it, Tom. It's all right. Honest it is. I'll pay you myself.
All right, if you say so. And I'm going to sign this one to the marshal with your name.
Yes, that's right. Oh, thanks, Tom, and hurry it. Please do. Dad, what are you doing in here?
Yep, barrel's clean as a whistle.
Dad, what are you doing with that rifle? Who's taking care of Bert?
I stayed with Bert till the doctor came. Now I got work to do. With the killing of Red Ryder and Little Beaver, I've had my fill of killing my men and stealing my freight. I'm going to that hotel and get that Ace Hanlon.
Dad, please don't. Please.
He's gone too far. Gunfire's the only answer now.
Oh, Dad, you don't know what you're doing. You'll ruin everything.
I aim to ruin Ace Hanlon. That's what I... What's this?
Well, I mean, you'll ruin us both.
Now, wait a minute. What do you know?
Oh, Dad, please don't ask me questions. Please.
Something's afoot. I know it is.
Well, Dad, you just can't keep a secret. Your face shows it.
Oh, I can't keep a secret, huh?
Well, they told me you'd be in here, John.
Just
Bruce.
stay right where you are, Ace Hanlon.
Well, I must say this is a nice reception for a businessman. What's that rifle for?
I've had enough of your killings of my men, and you're robbing my stage line.
Father, please. Please. Oh, don't pay any attention to him, Mr. Hanlon. He's just brought up.
Get out from in front, Janie.
Now, look, Bruce, I know you're excited.
You bet I'm excited. You killed the last of my men when Red Ryder died.
Red Ryder's dead?
He is, and Little Beaver with him.
And I was told the truth. Well, can I help that? What proof have you that
Everything points to you.
Father, Dad, you are spoiling everything.
Huh? Spoiling everything? What's she mean?
Well, I mean, spoiling our business and so on.
Well, you bet he is. Now, look, Bruce, drop that rifle. I've got business for you. 3 large packing crates I have to get to Devil's Hole right away. I'll pay special rates to get it there fast.
I don't want
Dad.
your... All right. Janie, see that the wagon's hitched up.
But who'll drive it, Father? Red's gone, so is Dave Small. But Potts is injured.
I'll get there myself.
You will? Good.
Have Shorty get the team ready, Jane.
The crates are in the warehouse. They'll be ready for delivery to my cafe in Devil's Hole in 10 minutes. Have a wagon there then.
Thank you, Dad.
So, I got an honest face. Can't keep a secret, huh? All right. Never mind, Janie. Maybe you're right. There's a plan afoot, and I won't spoil it. You go watch over Bert. See how he's getting along. I'll see about the wagon.
How are you feeling, Little Beaver?
No feeling so good.
You know what, Little Beaver? You're just like the wild mustangs we used to have to clip across the neck, very light with a rifle bow before we could ever catch them. That's what happened to you, across the neck. I thought you were a goner for a while. Help yourself to some more of that soup I made out of that rabbit.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to be laying around a fire for a change instead of... Oh.
Keeping still. No good moving busted leg.
I told you 3 times the leg's not broken, just sprained. I can ride Thunder, all right.
What we do now?
Stay right up here on the mountainside where we can watch that thin rib and a highway down there. The highway to Devil's Hole. And hope and pray that little scheme I hatched up won't prove so thin that it'll go wrong in the frying somewhere in Millersville.
You catch a Ace Hanlon, maybe?
I'm not sure yet who it'll catch, but it'll be the one causing all the trouble. Now finish up that soup, Little Beaver, because... Oh, that ankle. Because I need your sharp eyes to help me.
Now, look, Hanlon. I don't want any more argument.
Oh, never mind. I believe now you got rid of Red Ryder, all right. Here's your 500.
Well, thank you, boss. I guess I talked too fast.
I only want you to do one more thing. And right after that, you're starting for the border, and starting fast.
Ready whenever you say, boss.
There's one more job to be done on a Bruce Company freight wagon going to Devil's Hole.
Huh? Another?
That's right. The last one. But listen, this time you don't take what you find in the way of freight in the wagon and dump it in the nearest river. You take it straight to Smoky Remington's place this side of Templeville.
Smoky Remington's at Templeville?
And after that, straight for the border, because this thing's gone too far now.
Oh, I get it, boss.
Now, wait. Don't anybody ever say Ace Hanlon wasn't generous. For that neat job of setting off the powder charge that got Red Ryder, here's another 50. And for getting that Indian kid, another 10.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hanlon.
I'm only sorry Curly's body was left there in Breakneck Canyon. Get now and do as you're told.
Sure.
Send Easy to tell me how things went. This ought to be simple. Old man Bruce will be driving the wagon himself, and everybody will believe his story.
Douse the fire like I told you?
Red Ryder jumpy. Me douse him long time.
Hang it, I hope my scheme pans out. So many things could go wrong.
You sit him still. No good walk him.
You're right. I keep forgetting about that roughing up I had back there in Breakneck Canyon. That landslide almost finished us, little beaver.
Oh. Me think of Red Ryder gone happy hunting ground.
Darn it. Why didn't I think of having Bert tell me whether he got Jane to do as I told him or not? Now, if anything goes wrong, I could sit here for days and wonder about it.
Red Ryder not sit him here that long. No good. Me make him go home, taking care of broken leg.
I told you 4 times now that the leg's not broken.
Look him.
Where? Yes, you're right. That's a Bruce Company wagon, and coming fast, too.
Mr. Bruce, he drive him.
Oh, I believe you're right. Dad Bruce is driving.
Me go fetch him thunder. Red Ryder no walk.
This perhaps won't be so easy. I didn't count on Dad Bruce driving that wagon personally. You stay behind, little beaver. I don't want you in the way because we can't tell what's going to happen.
Red Ryder, be careful. No get him off horse.
I will. He's coming. Come on, boy. Dad Bruce! What the... Get away from me! You're dead! Bruce, stop that team! Nobody's stopping this team! Not even a ghost! Get going! Stop it, I tell you! Stop! Whoa! Whoa there, you four-legged demons! Whoa!
Oh, you ain't dead, you red-headed devil.
Dad Bruce,
What kind of thing's going on around here? What is this? You let everybody think you're dead, and you're really doing the holding up of these wagons.
But Dad Bruce...
Oh, it's clear to me now. You are a robbing highway thief. But you're not getting this load of freight, because I got a rifle here, and I intend to use it.
Dad Bruce...
Get away from here. Get.
We return to the adventures of Red Ryder in just a moment. Now, I'd like to remind you, fresh and tasty Langendorf bread is rich in food value. That's important to all of you, especially these days when we're working harder and longer, playing harder. Each tempting golden brown loaf of fresh and tasty Langendorf bread is a wonderful source of important food values used by the body for energy to help build muscle and tissue. In addition, delicious Langendorf bread is made with dextrose, the world's quickest energy food, to give you extra energy in each fresh, delicious slice. And this wonderful energy source is yours in a bread so creamy rich in color, so smooth in texture, so delicious to the taste, so lasting in freshness, that baking experts judged it America's finest. Plain with butter or jelly, toasted or in sandwiches, it's delicious. For goodness sake and for energy's sake, ask your grocer for fresh and tasty Langendorf bread, white or wheat, tomorrow. Red Ryder's mysterious schemes for the final trapping of whoever has been robbing Bruce Freight Line wagons and murdering drivers seems to be taking a strange tack. Could his recent experiences, which almost resulted in his death, have affected his mind? Apparently, he even tried to hold up old John Bruce himself on the highway from Millersville to Devil's Hole. But old John took no chances, opened fire with a rifle, and finally read...
Hey, sorry, Mr. Bruce. No other way out.
You red-headed devil. Shoot my rifle out of my hands if you like. But now I know you're one of those holding me up. I tell you, I'll never rest from here to breakfast till I...
Now, hold it, Bruce. I can't get off this horse because I can't walk. And I had to hold you up to make it look authentic in case anybody's watching.
Now listen.
I won't listen. I tell you,
Did Ace Hanlon ship those crates you've got in that wagon?
Huh?
Then my scheme worked.
Why, how'd you know Ace Hanlon came in and
It
asked...
did work. Jane did it all and kept it a secret. Now the rest of it may work. Little Beaver.
Me come.
Now get those crates out of that wagon, quick.
Hey, what is this?
No, wait. Pull ahead to those willows yonder, where we can't be seen.
Red Ryder, have you gone plumb crazy?
No, now do as you say.
Oh, I don't get it. But, all right, get up there. Get up. Come on, get along. Hup. Hey. Hey. Whoa. Hup.
Do you have a hammer or a chisel in the wagon, something to open the crates with?
I ain't opening no crates for you or anybody else.
Little Beaver, help them get them open.
Me get 'em.
Now, we haven't got a minute to lose. No telling just where they're planning to hold you up again.
Hold me up again? What in... Now, listen here, Red. If you don't tell me what this is all about... Wait a minute. How's it happen you're dead and yet you ain't?
That's a long story in itself. We almost did die. I can't get off this horse and walk, so open up one of those crates and you'll see what I mean.
Hanged if I ain't getting curious to see what you're so all-fired head up about. All right. I got a crowbar here. We use it to get loose boulders off the road with sometimes.
Now, hurry. Pry the tops off that nearest crate.
Yes, keep your shirt on, son. This board is really nailed on. There it gives. Now, let's see. Wait, let me get this paper off.
If I could only walk well enough.
Holy jumping catfish and little green spring apples.
What's in the crate?
Hooey.
Red. I don't know how you figured out this thing, but you sure stumbled on something. Take a look at this.
Great Scott.
A great big silver teapot weighing close to 5 pounds, I'd say. What is all this, Red? The whole crate's full of silver, just like this.
Haven't got time to explain now. Little Beaver, you help Dad Bruce. Now pry the tops off all those crates. Hide the silver you find in these willows. Then fill them up again with rocks and put the tops back on.
Take the silver out. Put rocks... What's the idea, Red?
Now do as I tell you. Then keep on going. Now, a little ways beyond here, I can't say just where, you'll be held up again. What? And I'd advise you to just throw up your hands and leave that rifle be, because that bunch will be playing for keeps.
I'll be held up again. Well, all right, Red. You've been right so far. But when do I hear what it's all about?
This afternoon, back in Millersville, where Little Beaver and I are going as soon as we get this chore done.
All right. Come on, Little Beaver. Let's do as the boss says. Get up!
Oh, look, there he comes now.
Huh? Get the cover. On your toes, Horace.
All right, you. Just put up your hands.
Whoa! Hold it, people. Hold it. Whoa! Hey, what is this? A hold-up?
Don't waste time arguing, mister. Boys, get them 3 crates off in that wagon.
Come on, let's get...
I'd just like to know how you figured I'd come by. This is a special trip for Ace Hanlon.
Never mind how we knew. Get them crates off, boys. Put them in that other wagon and shake a leg while you're doing it.
Gosh, Miss Jane, that's sure too bad. Tell me some more.
Well, there's not much more. Dad, of course, poured his money into this outfit to keep it going when times were tough. And now all these disasters have happened. The shipment's stolen right and left. Well, he's about through.
Gosh, why was I such a fool? I came from Missouri with $3,000 to invest in a business. Could have come in mighty handy about now to get maybe into business with your dad. But like a fool, I lost it at Ace Hanlon's Silver Dollar Cafe in Devil's Hole.
Wait, there's a stranger coming into the office.
Huh? Well, maybe it's...
No, it's not Red. Wait a moment. Oh, you're...
U.S. Marshal Wiggins, ma'am. You're Jane Bruce?
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
You got your telegram, and we rode as fast as a buckboard and horse flesh could carry us, ma'am. Me and 2 deputies from Union City. What's the trouble?
Well, that is... I don't know.
You don't know?
No. That is... Well, Red Ryder knows.
Red Ryder?
And I don't rightly know why Red wanted me to send for you, but I know Red. And if he wanted me to send for the U.S. Marshal and deputies, why, he knew what he was doing.
Say, what is this, ma'am? Blind man's buff?
Oh, please, I don't know what it's all about. Really, I don't. But terrible things are happening. Robberies and murders and...
Robberies? Murder? Well, maybe we had better stay.
Gene, here he comes, up the street.
Red Ryder. He's safe.
And that's the story, Marshal.
Gee, that is a story.
Oh, Red, do you think they'll hurt Father?
Not if he doesn't get foolish and grab that rifle, which I don't think he'll do now.
One question, Mr. Ryder. None of this leaked out to this Ace Hanlon yet, did it?
I don't think so. Thanks to Miss Bruce here, my friend Bert Parks, who handled things very well.
And I'm sure Ace Hanlon's still at the hotel.
Well, as soon as your dad comes back in town, Miss Jane, and can be the witness, we'll mosey on over to the hotel and arrest Mr. Ace Hanlon. If he's there now, I don't reckon he suspects much, and is probably sitting on pins and needles right this minute, awaiting word as to how his scheme turned out.
Oh, Red. We thought for a while you were dead.
Thought so myself for a while, but Little Beaver pulled me out of it.
Me bring him help.
So I guess now there's nothing to be done but just make ourselves comfortable until Mr. Bruce gets back.
Then we'll call on Mr. Hanlon at the hotel.
Who is it?
Better open up, Mr. Hanlon.
Here, just a minute.
Huh? Better just take it easy, Hanlon.
Red Ryder.
In the flesh, Ace.
Little Beaver, too. You betcha.
No, I'm seeing things. Let me out of here.
Just take it easy, Hanlon. Here's my badge. That's real enough, ain't it? U.S. Marshal Wiggins from Union City. Sorry, but my deputies have gone over to Templeville and picked up the rest of your gang.
What? There must be some mistake. What do you mean?
You're under arrest as a receiver of stolen goods, Ace Hanlon.
Stolen? Why, what do you mean?
Oh, you needn't try to act innocent. Mighty clever scheme it was. Engineering those robberies on the Bruce Freight and Company's wagons.
Look here, you're plumb crazy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Clever, dumping what you stole in the river so that when you finally ship those crates of stolen silverware and jewelry that your crooks sent you to dispose of, it couldn't ever be proved they were delivered to you.
It's all a pack of lies. Who told you a thing like that?
We got it good and straight, Hanlon. You coming peaceable?
Now, listen, you...
Just take it easy. Argue and you'll get these on your wrist.
Hey, I'll come peaceable. I don't need these on my wrist. Really, I don't. I'll come peaceable.
All right, move along, folks. I'm taking this man along to Union City. Thanks to you, Mr. Ryder, you uncovered a pretty far-reaching burglary plot. I'll bet officials in San Francisco and a lot of other cities have been scratching their heads a long time to figure out where that stolen stuff was sent.
Have some more coffee, Red.
Now, Little Beaver, you drink the rest of that milk.
Doggone, Miss Jane, this coffee sure rings that bell.
Jane always was a right smart cook.
More food, please.
Now, just hold everything, everybody, you hungry mob. I can only serve so many at a time. Red, I don't see how you figured out Ace Hanlon wasn't just trying to put Dad out of business.
Well, Jane, that was my first idea, of course. Like it was everybody's, I guess. I figured Ace Hanlon was pulling these robberies and making things tough generally for the Bruce Company so as he could ruin your business, and that he'd try setting up one of his own later on. But Little Beaver and I saw something that changed our minds about that angle. And anyway, it didn't make sense.
We see him throw stuff in river.
That's right. A lot of the stuff they hijack from your wagons, Dad Bruce, you'll find at various parts of the Devil's Hole River.
Why, the low-down... And me being responsible for some of this stuff they stole, too.
So when I saw that, I knew the motive wasn't just robbery.
Ace Hanlon sure didn't like having you around either, Red. More coffee, please?
Oh, that's right. He even tried to have us blown up to get us out of the way. So you can see he had something pretty serious to hide.
Yeah.
It occurred to me that all this was a blind of some kind, to cover something a lot more important than it looked on the surface.
Yeah?
Then it hit me that maybe he wanted shipments of his own to seem to have been stolen.
Well, I acted on that hunch, laid a trap, and by jings, the trap caught him.
That's as fine a piece of reasoning as I've heard of in a long time, Red.
And man, is that redhead handy with a gun, too. Should have seen the way he got me out of Hanlon's Cafe in Devil's Hole when they was coming for me. Where I lost that $3,000 I came west to start a business with.
Well, boys, I'm sure glad you cleaned things up. I just hope now I can raise some cash someplace to begin where I left off.
Oh, say, Bert, I almost forgot. Here, wait a second. Huh?
Red Ryder, hide him in belt.
As if I can just get at my belt. There you are. All safe and sound. Holy jumping. Where'd you get this? Your money, Bert. In that fracas at the Silver Dollar Cafe, I scooped it off the table. $3,000. And you let me think it was lost. Well, Bert, you talk so free in front of Hanlon, and from the way you let them get you at that stud table, I figured maybe the stuff was safer with me for a spell. I'll be... But don't know as you're right, Red. Dad Bruce, you say you want some capital?
Well,
I came out west to start a business. I was to buy a half interest in yours. I drove a stage back in Missouri.
Well, Bert, if this had dropped from heaven, it couldn't have been more welcome.
Don't show me the way. I've been here before. They told me that more confidential mine moving around here, and I want him. Howdy, folks.
Annie Duchess.
Duchess? What are you doing in Millersville?
Hello, Duchess.
Keep your seats, everybody. Howdy, Bruce. Hello, Jane. No, now, don't bother. I can sit without help. Red Ryder, you're heading over toward Paradise Plateau, and you're heading fast.
Why? What's wrong over on Paradise Plateau, Duchess?
Something's mighty unfunny over there, Red. A corporation what built a dam for an irrigation project went and got a lot of settlers to come in. And now I believe the whole thing's turned out to be a swindle. Sure is. Folks was encouraged to come into the valley and build houses and settle. And now they're being put off by mounted gunmen. There's something down around Paradise Plateau that just don't create a sweet smell around this here part of the world. And I suggest you hightail over there, Red Ryder, and see what it is.
Well, little beaver?
Me ready. Do what Annie Duchess say.
I figured you'd be. All right, come on. There's doings at Paradise Plateau.
Red Ryder comes to you each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at 7:30 over these same stations. Tune in Tuesday and hear the next exciting adventures of Red Ryder and Little Beaver, with Ace Hanlon's strange and lawless doings against the settlers at Paradise Plateau. What does he find when he gets there? Adventure and thrills. Red Ryder is presented for your enjoyment by Langendorf, bakers of the bread judged America's finest. Get a loaf of fresh and tasty Langendorf bread at your grocer's tomorrow. During periods of war stress, the morale of the nation must be kept at the peak. Health and energy are necessary for high morale. Our all-out defense program requires both physical and mental fitness. Those of us who cannot serve on the battle line can still help in many ways. Red Cross, civilian defense, USO, and other national defense activities. We can do our bit by investing in defense stamps and bonds, real savings that can be drawn upon in time of need. We can enlist in the nation's health defense program to help maintain the high morale which builds courage and optimism. Langendorf bread, rich in nutriment, proteins, and vitamins, and dextrose for added energy, will help you to maintain the physical and mental fitness to carry you through these days of stress. Keep physically fit and do your bit. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the Blue Network.